All right, this video is by Hens talking about the live balancing problem in Dead by Daylight, which, you know, depending on how they view it, I'm not quite sure what they're going to get into, but, you know, probably going to talk about like stuff with like live balancing in general, just as a concept. But here's the link to this video. Make sure that you like and subscribe to this creator. That way they are supported for the official release of said video. If you're on YouTube, it'll be in the description below. So, yeah.
Hey guys, Hens here. Today I want to talk about live balancing in Dead by Daylight, more specifically mother-daughtering as an example. And the reason I want to talk about this is the DBD developers did an AMA on Reddit 2 days ago in which they answered some questions. But some of the answers honestly left me with more questions than they answered. There's some interesting stuff though. Billy is gonna get an add-on rework, or some add-ons are gonna get reworked. Sadly, this is only gonna be next year. Wow, that is quite the time to wait. Trapper is totally okay and is not OP and not too weak. And they answered the question of how they are balancing add-ons and why they're getting nerfed and buffed. The specific question that they answered to, someone said that it's frustrating to see certain add-on get nerfed, and I 100% agree. What is the decision making when it comes to this? And the developers said that there are 3 foundations that they balance around: design intent, which means what is this add-on designed to do, and community feedback, what does the community think of this, and 3, data and statistics. How often
our favorite,
does a killer
data
win using these add-ons? And this is honestly quite puzzling that there are 3 of those foundations if you look at the really strong and obnoxious add-ons. For example, mother-daughtering. So this is an add-on that increases the spirit.
I still can't believe that they gave her a full add-on pass and left that. They did the same thing with Blight. They gave Blight add-on pass and just like left everything that was broken about his add-ons. Like, I just don't get it. Like, why don't they touch these things? Like, they had the chance to literally visit this and change it, and they just don't. Which means they just, like, don't see it as an issue for some reason. And if that second aspect, that second, you know, thing they talked about where it's like, you know, community feedback, people have been talking about mother-daughtering being absolutely busted and having no place in the game for years. Are you really taking in that second component? Because it doesn't look like it. It does not look like it.
Its phase walk movement speed by 40%, but as a downside, scratch marks are no longer visible while phasing. So the design intent is pretty obvious here. So tracking survivors is going to be a lot harder, but you can move faster and you have more travel speed, so you can cross the map faster, but chasing is going to be harder. So the problem with this add-on is that not having scratch marks is just not much of a downside for an experienced Spirit player. So the main way that Spirit players actually track survivors is by sound. So if you have a lot of hours on Spirit, you are going to track them by sound. Scratch marks are just an extra thing that can reassure you, but you shouldn't rely on it. If you rely on scratch marks, you're probably not going to be very experienced on her. A survivor that moves in any way in Dead by Daylight will make sounds. Slow vaults make sounds. Running makes sounds. Walking makes sounds because you make breathing sounds. The only thing, and if you don't make sounds, you're sitting still, and then the Spirit player knows that you're not doing anything. I think the design intent is kind of lost on that aspect. Just to make sure you know how much 40% is, there's a yellow add-on, which is one of the best ones that she has, which makes her 10% faster in phasing, which is super good to chase people. Speed is always good. That's just a given in Dead by Daylight. 40% is a ridiculous number, and this is probably, in my opinion, the strongest add-on in the game. I think the design intent in this add-on is completely lost once the Spirit has more than a few hours on her and has a good headset, because the downside is just way too minuscule and the upside is way too massive.
Yeah, spirits are already like kind of like hard tuned to like listen harder anyway. That's just kind of like something that they do. So like having a downside that like spirits already tried to like circumvent anyway, like that just doesn't make sense. Like it would probably make sense like early on, but now the character's been out for years and years, so now we know that. So the fact that they continue to not address this is puzzling.
Community feedback. Everyone has always asked for enough on this add-on. There was a Spirit add-on rework like 1 year ago in which
Yep, we
the
talked about that.
developers changed the green add-ons, and the green speed and duration add-on completely got deleted. The phasing sound kind of got reworked, but mother-daughtering, to everyone's surprise back then, survived this rework. Same with Amulet. It was not really understood why that was, but they managed to survive it. And this is extremely puzzling to me, how we get changes that seem extremely irrelevant in the mid-chapter patch, and then mother-daughtering just doesn't get changed. Blight, Arcring doesn't get changed. Nothing happens to it. Compound 33 on Arcring.
Matt, appreciate it.
Nothing changes. But instead, we get updates like the Nightmare Blindness add-ons. Duration gets increased by 30 seconds.
Yeah,
Executioner's
that's helpful.
Egg add-ons. Killer Instinct gets increased by 3 seconds. Stuff that really, I don't know, I don't really care about. And I think most people don't. I'm not calling these changes bad, but they seem
They're
fairly
kinda bad.
relevant. And the relevant stuff just takes so long. Even if it's simple number changes. In my opinion, mother-daughtering needs at least a 10% speed nerf to 30%. At the very least, to keep it a bit in check. I know the developers said they do not want to balance around the high level, and that is totally okay. But I think if
Not really the high
stuff
level.
is beyond
I don't
broken,
think.
when everyone has thousands of hours, then they deserve to get changed. Because especially with mother-daughtering, the design intent is literally lost. I don't know what the stats look like. I don't know if people don't win with mother-daughtering. In my opinion, this add-on is broken. If I play against someone with mother-daughtering, more often than not, they do pretty well. So I am not sure where this comes from. And I'm really puzzled how this add-on manages to survive this long.
Me too.
What are your thoughts on it? Do you think mother-daughtering is okay? What about Blight's Arcring? Do you think these add-ons
No.
deserve changes? Or are they fine as they is? Thanks for watching. See you next time.
Yeah, it's just like, if they really do go into all three of those things, I don't know how mother-daughtering exists. Because based on just like the community feedback alone, like we've been talking about wanting this add-on nerf for forever, and they keep going back to this character and not touching it. And like Hens is saying, it's like there's got to be the stats for it, right? There's got to be the stats. There's got to be the stats to back this up. There has to be. There has to be the stats back up that mother-daughtering is good. Like there has to be. So I don't know why they don't want to touch it. It's just like, it's one of those things where like, if I wish they could just like come out and tell us and be transparent, even if they're wrong, like even if they're just like the idea they have is just completely backwards and just doesn't make any sense. Like I just wish I could know that way, like, because like the fact of right now is we're just like guessing. We're just left with guesswork, and that's all we can do is we just assume. But just having some sort of insight, just any sort of insight would like be helpful, because even by their own guidelines that they just put up in that Reddit, like it doesn't seem like they're following those. Like how are they making these decisions? That's what I would want to know.